Hey everybody, so I'm here at the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So the reason I'm here is because Xiaomi is going to be publicly listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. There will be a public company after this. Hong Kong's one of the top 3 financial capitals of the world, along with New York and London. So this is huge news for a Chinese company. I believe this is like the third largest tech IPO in the past decade. So, pretty big news for Xiaomi. They're doing a countdown right now.
15, 14, 13, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,加！
Hey guys, so I'm back at my apartment after the IPO. Good thing about Hong Kong is it's really small, so I was able to get back home in like just 20 minutes. I'm hungry, man. I haven't eaten anything all day. IPO started at like 8 a.m. So, an IPO means initial public offering. It's when a company makes itself public and allows normal citizens and also investors to buy stocks in the company. So why do companies want to file for an IPO? It's because when you file for an IPO and go public, then you have a flood of money coming in from people buying stocks. Ideally anyway, when that happens, sorry about the notification. So when that happens, you get a lot of capital, aka money, to invest. So this is good for Xiaomi because they're looking to aggressively expand. They are top 3 or 4 in China right now and number 1 in India. But then outside these 2 places, they don't have a big presence. So they are trying to enter Europe. I think they entered Europe already, but they're trying to, get bigger in Europe and also enter North America. Probably not the US though. So the reason Xiaomi filed for an IPO is because prior to this, for the first 8 years, they've been a private company, like a startup, and they operated on investments from investors. Because Xiaomi, they sell the phones at they call it business plus model, which means they sell the phones really cheap. They make razor thin margins on the phone. So for example, if a Xiaomi phone sells for $350 US, that phone might have cost them like $300 to make. So they're only making like $50 US profit per phone. Whereas someone like Apple, they sell for a phone for $1,000, but that phone costs them maybe like $500 to make. So they're pocketing $500 profit. So that's why Apple is so valuable, because they're able to sell phones at a lot more than what it costs them to make. Xiaomi, razor thin margin. So they don't make a lot of money selling phones actually. Most of the money comes from other products that they do, like air purifier, all that, and then investors. So they need an IPO to get a flood of money coming in so they can aggressively expand. But there's been a little bit of bad news for Xiaomi in terms from the business side, because initially when they filed for the IPO, they were hoping to get 100 billion in valuation, 100 billion US dollars. But almost as soon as they started the IPO, it became apparent that they weren't going to hit that mark. And then I believe the final number is like 54 billion. Still a lot of money to you and I, but for a company with that big ambition, it's a little bit disappointing because this is half of what they wanted. There are a lot of reasons for that. Part of that is because Xiaomi, when they filed for IPO, it tried to market itself as an internet company, and a lot of investors and analysts were a little bit skeptical, saying you are a hardware company, not an internet company. Now, I disagree. I think they are an internet company because MIUI, it's its own software, and there's a big community. And then they also have an ecosystem of Xiaomi products. But the other reason that Xiaomi's IPO kind of disappointed a little bit, it's because of Donald Trump. Trump, ever since he became president, has been pushing for America first, and it's very xenophobic. It's very like alienating to a lot of other countries. So Trump particularly has been going after China, threatening a trade war for the past several months, and the trade war officially kicked off last weekend when Trump imposed like this crazy tariff on Chinese exports, and China's going to retaliate. That means the two countries are going to basically, not a physical war, but a trade war. They're going to tax the hell out of each other, and when that happens, nobody wins. Consumers lose. Like, that's why Trump's a dumbass. He thinks he's doing all this stuff, but it benefits nobody really, other than maybe the US government. So anyway, Trump's starting a trade war has led to a cloud of uncertainty over Xiaomi, because now people are worried about investing in Xiaomi if they have no market in the US because of Trump, and then Trump's gonna force the trade war, and then that means Chinese can't export over to the US and US can't export to China, vice versa. So a lot of just complicated factors that made investors a little bit scared to invest in Xiaomi. So most of this is bad timing because of the US-China tension right now. But I think to consumers like us, we have nothing to worry about. I think Xiaomi is a very popular brand. They recently just opened a Mi store in Hong Kong, first one ever, and the store is always packed. I walk by it almost every day and it's like completely packed. So, and when I go around to India and in China, Xiaomi is really popular. So that's 2 of the 3 biggest markets in the world, at least by population, I mean. So I think Xiaomi should be doing okay. Even though the IPO is a little bit lower than expected, they will be fine, to us consumers at least. As for the business side, for Xiaomi, the boss, can they expand as aggressively as they can? I'm not sure. But I live in Hong Kong, and for those of you watching in India or in Asia, you'll be fine. But if you're in Europe, maybe Xiaomi won't be growing as fast as Xiaomi had hoped. Anyway, I'm gonna go get lunch, man. I'm starving. Thanks for watching.